Hello, welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. This will be an update for the Enterprise D build. This is version 3. This is the Steinbach build out. This is the hangar that iPanic has been working on pretty steadily for the last few days. It looks really nice. It looks beautiful when it's mirrored, but unfortunately we can't mirror it right now for continuity issues. We have to be very careful with that. But he's done quite a bit of work in here, him and his build out team. I couldn't even begin to pronounce the guys, all the people's names and stuff that have been helping him, but quite a few people have been, and I'm sure that you come on the server, iPanic will be more than happy to tell you who's all helped him with it. But they got the emergency venting system in, and that did require a little bit of changing on the decks above us, which iPanic went ahead and handled. As you can see, he has the little shark icons and the number 1 over here, and yeah, all the little shuttles are in. I think I've showed you this before in another video, but he keeps making little changes to stuff, and it's very nice. I mean, did a really nice job with this hangar. I gotta say, overall, yeah, I hope version 2's hangar comes out as awesome as version 3 hangar here has. Anyways, I've been down here working on deck 5 of this, and I imported this, and it took me about 4 days to mock it up, but it is mocked up, it is in, and I haven't really gone through and proofed it yet. There's still some things that we're working on, but overall, yeah, it's a pretty busy deck. I gotta tell you, all these crew quarters took me a long time to do. Now, this is a departure for me as far as crew quarters go. Normally I do a lot smaller crew quarters, but on the Steinbach plans we have these long, narrow crew quarters, and what I did is there are variations of these. Some of them are only single occupancy, some of them are dual occupancy, some of them are standard like my normal quarters that I normally do, and some of them are D classic designs, so basically a center section and then a living quarters on one side and then a bathroom on the other side. But with this one, because of these long, here's one of my standard Enterprise crew quarters, living space, bedroom, bathroom. I place those wherever I can. But here you have the living space, a little access hallway. So these are basically like little tiny apartments. You have a bedroom 1, shared bath, bedroom 2, and that's pretty much it all the way around the hall, with the exception of areas like this. There were additional escape pods through here that mirrored over from the forward section, but since the aft section doesn't have that many escape pods, I had to repurpose the area, so that's what I did. And since the version 2 has a different way of accessing the lifeboats, because the corridors are slightly different over on the version 2 than they are on the version 3, I did these separate little corridors, or emergency escape corridors, access corridors, wherever I could for the escape pods. Now, with this, there will be 2 sets of, well, I don't think I can do it here. That if we can, yeah, I think I can. I think I can fit the escape pod down into the hull here, and then if I have to, they'll stair step down into it. And when we're here, let's go ahead and set these up. The door will actually be right here. Now, if I do lower the escape pod, then this right here will be like a half slab stepping down into it. So that's something for this, if I'm not around to finish this build or something, whatever happens. Yeah, you can step down. Just keep that in mind, whoever does this in the future, that they don't have to be level. These decks are high enough that you can actually lower the escape pods down into the deck and then half slab the bottoms, which would be the roof of the deck above it, or excuse me, the deck below it. So there's a will, there's a way. And then we have these other little crew quarters here. I just kind of horseshoe them in here to kind of, you get a little sideways door here to step into here. That way there you don't have like a half door, you have a full door. I don't know, those half doors bug the crap out of me, and I don't want to make this 3 wide. I don't have the room for it. So then I have a little Jeffries tube access, and a whole bunch more crew quarters. Now on this one, these are slightly longer crew quarters. Again, this area here could be taken out. These little bathrooms can be taken out, and this could be turned into a big living space. But what I did here is bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, bathroom. And I did these along here like that. And again, because there's a lot more space through here because of the oval shape of the corridors and stuff, you go ahead and see if I can get it to come up for us. Wow, there we go. Get down on the deck. And you can see the pattern that I went with. And it's, granted, a lot of the big areas aren't filled in. But when you look at the Steinbach plans, all those big areas, those big rooms that don't have stuff in, you can see two of these rooms that do, with the yellow and blue light writing and the little C-looking thing. Well, that's actually an elevator, a cargo or lift elevator from the hangar deck, cargo deck area of the hangar deck. But yeah, those rooms are all little tiny micro rooms that are basically like he just cut out a couple of pieces of paper and just sort of kind of fit them in there. Okay, this is where this goes, and he went over to the copier and copied it, and all of a sudden all that empty space had like 5 or 6 little rooms in it, and all they were basically cookie rooms, cookie cutter rooms. I haven't done that yet. I've broken them up where I can, like here and here, but I haven't put any doorways in because I have no idea where the doors are going yet. So I just leave it open, and when we get to it, we can put doors into it as we get ready for them. So when this room here gets all filled out, it could be broken into 4 or 5 different rooms. Could even have an additional corridor through here. If I did, the corridor would probably be right along this. I don't think I would do that. I think I would actually move it along this right here so that I know it's uniform to something and not an oddball variant. But yeah, I think I'll probably do that just to break this area up a little bit. In the Steinbach plans, this is just a big room filled with machinery, and same thing over here, a bunch of machinery and stuff, and this is a medical lab, this is a tech assessment area, this is a lab, this is a little, I have no idea what that is, but it's in the plans. So me and Panic did this last night, or not last night, but a couple of nights ago, set this up, and none of us we're not happy with it, but it is what it is. But I wanted a way to move stuff from the cargo deck here, the cargo ring, and I figured, well, why not just, it's just right off this 4-wing doorway right here, just come through here and down into here, auxiliary storage if anything else. Now the Steinbach has a lot of these are turbo shafts, by the way, and the Steinbach plans has this odd I guess dual turbo lift bypass systems and stuff, and it's kind of a neat system, don't get me wrong. It's just because again with Minecraft you end up with 3 wides, 6 wides. It's just sometimes I want to pull my hair out because I can't, that does look a little jinky right there, because how it comes along and then it kind of curves back in. I'm going to double check that to make sure that that's actually, I don't think that's on a pattern, but it should be on a pattern. So something got a little funky here, but I'm not sure what it is. Again, you'll never see it, but it's little things like this that when I see them, I want to figure out what's causing it and then fixing it, or address it, because these should jink a little bit more or curve just a little. They shouldn't bend back like somebody's finger. It should be a little bit more this way. So I got to figure out why that's that. And it'll be the same way back here. You see how it kind of bows in like that. Come around here, and I'm gonna do that too. Keep everything uniform. Actually, I think I did it on this side. Yeah, I did. Keep it all uniform. But yeah, I'll fill all this in. I've got a little circle set aside for where the computer core goes. Blue mocked something up, and then I kind of just took it from there. Just kind of set it aside and set this in here with it, so that I know that my spacings are pretty spot on for it, which I'm pretty happy about. Got a little stairwell thing set up. These stairwells, I tell you, when you do your own build, even if you make room and plan for them, because of the height difference between things, the design always changes, and it's a real pain in the ass. So always plan to have an alternate plan for stairwells and things like that, because they'll drive you batty. Got a little what the hell? A little door there, I guess. But a little access way here that steps down in here, and then this will be like, you can see it right here. This is a venting system. Allows air or whatever, atmosphere repurposing. But yeah, all in all, it's coming together. Up here, I lucked out. These lined up pretty decently. Not too much tweaking had to be done here. I think I had to move this over by one block, hence the dead space right there. But it all lined in here pretty nicely, so I was pretty happy about that. I went ahead and put a Jeffries tube around the outer edge. I keep flying around really fast, drives me nuts. But Jeffries tube, wherever I can around the outer edge, if I have space, I'll do it, because I'm not going to have a window here and then drop down 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks to a room below it. That's just absolutely asinine, and I'm not going to do it, not one bit. No, not going to do it. But these are not windows. I've been asked about a dozen times, well, how come the windows are so big? There are escape hatches. I just needed, the pattern up on the hull, and besides that, I wanted the extra light. Okay, I like pretty light. But yeah, you can see these are pretty long. But yeah, you know what? I think they work. These are VIP crew quarters. Got a little area here for lifeboat systems, medical, first aid, armory. There's a lounge. There's something, and then another little something, little storage area, little something. And then midship here, there's a little armory and a little first aid station. Yeah, I don't know why that's there. Figure it out later. A little marker I can get rid of. Another little Jeffries tube. I haven't decided yet. Is it going to go? Since it's on the port side, it goes that way. So a little Jeffries tube access point. But yeah, boy, that thing's just freaking out, isn't it? That map thing. Yeah, she's coming together pretty decently. I can tell you, I'm pretty happy with it. I can tell you that the Steinbach takes a lot more time than the Whitefire version, because the Steinbach has a lot more intricate layouts than the Whitefire. Plus, we gotta, as we're designing this, because obviously the hulls are different. Which I had those there for a reason. I gotta remember not to do that. This whole area here was only one deck tall. It's only 5 blocks tall, but we need more space. So it's now, instead of 5 blocks tall, it's 2 decks tall. So everything that was down in here has to be moved. And one of the main things that was down in here was the turbo lift for the saucer to connect to the secondary hull, along with the battle bridge direct turbo lift. And again, I can't imagine that there would just be one dedicated express turbo lift from bridge to bridge. It would definitely have to go somewhere else. It'd probably go to the battle bridge, and then it would probably go to the captain's yacht, or an express to the hangar or something. I don't know, but it just seems stupid to have it just go to one spot, because they don't have express elevators, But then again, if you had to go from the main bridge to the battle bridge in an emergency, you'd want a direct route there. So, it's just one of those things that it is what it is, and that's not going to be where the floor comes together. As you can see, things change. So, it'll be right there, I think. Yeah, this will be a good enough spot for it. Turbo lift design, I tell you. Before, it would come forward and then came down and then went back, and yeah, I wanted this room here for something else, so I went ahead and cleaned it out. And what else have we done here? Not too much. That's pretty much it. I apologize. I mean, when it comes to doing these videos, I can record myself actually working on stuff, but it's even boringer than to listen to me talk about it, because it's just hours of me going, block, block. That's what it is. And this right here is about 6 days worth of work, this whole deck, and I'm not even done with it yet. There's still a lot of it I have to go back through and tweak. We still have to fill these areas in with, the actual sub rooms and component rooms that are going to go in them, and then I have to fix that little bow issue with the turbo lift. Nice thing about it is what I'll do is I'll grab an oval from like an oval ring above us and just kind of highlight a little segment of it, and then I'll drop it down in here, and I'll make sure that figure out why this isn't lining up correctly. And it's probably just an issue with the way that these things transition through here, and it happens. We're dealing with an egg, a flattened egg, so things are going to get a little cattywampus. Whatever. But as you can see, it falls down to deck 10 here quite nicely. And well, you know what? Here it is here. So, and yeah, it's weird. So I'll move this up there and see what happened, why it gets. But you can see it as right here as well. It might be because it intersects with that corridor, and I could probably address that issue by moving this to there, or to there, so it comes through here a little bit more like that. I'll probably end up having to do that, because evidently I was working on it beforehand down here. So, yeah. Again, a lot of this stuff will be hidden. You won't ever notice it, but I see it and it bugs me and I want to fix it. Now, I did mention in one of the previous Steinbach videos that we did get the escape pod or situation figured out. So now the escape pods are correctly at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This right here is the actual escape pod door. The yellow is the silo that goes around the escape pod. So the escape pod would sit right in here. The door is the wool jettison, and then the escape pod would drop and everybody be on the merry. Yeah. But yeah, this was kind of interesting. Like I said, in order to fix the issue, I ended up just going to bed out of frustration. Panic and I worked on it for quite some time, and then neither one of us could get it figured out. And I went to bed, and it just dawned on me, I wonder if I got my corridors right. So I came in and I moved this corridor, which was the first corridor I moved, and wow, I'll be darned, that actually fits like a glove now. It gave me the rooms that I needed, and it gave me the extra space, and everything worked out great. And then I was like, well, I wonder what the deal is with this one, because beforehand it was coming right down through here. And what I ended up doing is, instead of these were only 2 long, so they were curving in too far, I made them 3 long, and damn it, they fit like a glove. Just came right through here. So I was pretty happy about that. Pretty darn happy about that. But as you can see, there's still some lines. Now this is deck 10, and the reason it's in is because I had to make sure that the turbolifts from this level go all the way down and match up. And so if they match up between deck 4 and 5, they'll match up all the way down to deck 10. So that's just a way to zero things out. Plus I needed to know where the escape pods go, and I really didn't want to try and put the escape pods in with all the other decks in above it. So yeah, I just knew. Headache alert. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty stoked that this is coming together, and hopefully in a few days I'll have deck 6 done. And when I say a few days, it'll probably be a week or so out. It just depends on how much free time I have, how my health holds up, and yeah, But it's, for the most part, deck 6 is almost a copy of deck 5, with the exception There's a few extra corridors and a few less corridors. So some areas have more corridors, and a couple areas don't have corridors where they're at. So just finding those and separating them out, and then making sure everything gets lined up, and Bob's your uncle. We've got a deck 6, and then we on to deck 7. But yeah, what I'm going to do with this turbolift situation here is the express turbolift will come out. Now, the neath, I think I talked about in the last video, I can actually use the hull as the base for the turbolift, or for corridors, whatever. Well, mainly just for turbolift. I can't really use it for corridors. I'd have to use carpeting for that. But on this build, you can't see it, but deck 7 is actually right there. So I believe that's where it's at. I've been working in this area, so the red line that goes, yeah, you can actually, deck 7 is right there. So it's the same situation as with the Whitefire plants. So the actual deck stops here, and then we run into the hull. So I don't want to put too much stuff up in here. But what I can do, because of the height, if I can put a floor here. But if I do that, when the turbolift gets here, it's going to have that little divot right here where it comes down and it transitions. Now I may not be able to get away from that. I can tell you I don't have to do that because I can run the turbolift right along here, but then the floor will be one higher than the turbolift. So it doesn't really matter. It's just one of those continuity things that you'll never see, but it'll be there, and it's like an engineering issue. You don't see all the flaws on the 747 until it crashes, and even then, good luck. But until Deanna crashes it into a planet, I think we're going to be okay. Flaws won't be exposed. But what I'll do is I'll run the turbolift down the center, and I'll run the first sectional turbolift, which is the saucer lift to the secondary hull on one side, and then the other one on the other side. And then if they interconnect, they'll interconnect via the deck above it or the deck below it. So basically, if I have to transition from port to starboard, the lift will come to a stop, go up, go over, go back down. Cheesy, I know, but for most part, they're not going to be doing that. They're going to be going one way, while the other one goes the other way. And if they do link up, they'll be like in the secondary hull, they'll come down, and then they'll just be a link up. So, and then they'll proceed to the secondary hull as a single unit, or go their different directions from that point. And again, I did consider where I was going to put the the connection points. I'm trying to figure out where I put it at. There it is, back here. This right here comes down. It'll come down to probably right in this area, because this is where there's like 3 decks of these things, and this is a turbolift switch over systems. I only need 2 decks worth of that. I don't need 3 decks. So what it'll do is it'll come all the way down through here, and it'll go through the hull right here. And the airlock will be, actually, yeah, I want it here because the airlock can be here and the airlock can be here. So it'll work. So the main Jeffries tube will come through right here, because basically it'll be an airlock, but for the Jeffries tube, and it'll feed the system. It'll go all the way back under the bridge. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I don't have to fight the bridge module, as the bridge is above us. I can come all the way back, as far back as I can get it to go. And I got to be careful because there's a hangar down here. And it'll come right back to about right here, and it'll go right down between the 2 hangar doors. Right down the center of the ship, right down the 2 hangar doors, right to the main engineering. If it has to, it might make another jog back, but I don't know yet. We will see. Because it's the D. It has that long sloping neck into the secondary hull. Anyways, I do appreciate taking time to watch. I realize this episode was a little long in tooth and boring. I do apologize. Not a lot to really talk about, but it is, progress. But do, if you would, hit that like button for me, and please consider visiting our GoFundMe page, link in the description, and contributing to help keep the server up and running. Miller appreciates all donations, and so do all of us. And please visit us on our Facebook and like us there as well. Also comment on the Facebook page, suggestions, ideas, things you'd like to see, stuff like that. Anyways, I do appreciate watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.